Good morning, folks. Welcome to my channel. It's great that you've tuned back in. Must mean something, mustn't it? Anyway, here I am in my kitchen. Rain's pretty much stopped play for any automotive works going on outside the back of my house. Nothing's going on the bike front at the moment because I need to sort through the load of junk that I bought for the Audi A2, the job lot I bought a couple of weekends ago now, or a weekend ago, I can't remember. So yeah, the shed's literally full of that. I need to go through each piece in turn, clean it, see if it's usable, loft it out the way. So I've got space to actually get in and unbury the little BSA A3, the poor little thing. It's crying out to be finished off, but I just can't physically see it, let alone work on it. So today I thought I would do a bit of R&R really, but that involves cleaning, which I love to clean stuff, because when you do sort of restorations, you're basically cleaning, aren't you? And then changing broken parts or fixing broken parts. And today I'm doing my second great passion, which is video games, consoles and things like that, or everything retro. So I have managed to purchase this morning. I've been out and I bought another SNES, Super Nintendo, to you guys in the UK and Europe, and Super Famicom to our American brothers and sisters. So let's take a look in the bag. It wasn't expensive, and I think you're going to see why. Right, let's have a delve in the bag. You can just about see how utterly skanky and crusty that is. And some of your Hawkeye people will see there that the flap, or the flaps should I say, that when you put your cartridge in that slot in there, the flaps are either non-existent, broken, or / there or not there. So I need to get that out of the bag right away. And I have Nintendo generally in the olden days used to use specific security bits to unscrew the screws. You didn't just get like a Phillips screw or JR screw or flathead. It was all specialist tools. So that has come out of the out of hiding. That's my Parkside set with all the different nooks and nookies to get into those specific screws and bolts. Here is my tray of fixing gear. In here I have all sorts of electronical wizardry. You've got your heat shrink, magnifier. We have a UV torch. It doesn't work. Oh, it did work, unless I've taken the battery. I think I've probably taken the batteries out. That UV torch cures this green stuff that you put onto printed circuit boards after you've done soldering. Here's the flux. Different nozzles there to add flux. And all that kind of malarkey. We've got some heat shield paste. That is a disk drive from a Nintendo Wii. More heat shrink. This little gadget is absolutely blooming brilliant. If you can get hold of one of these, I don't know if they probably do them on eBay. This, believe it or not, is a soldering iron. Or if you're in the States, a soldering iron. I don't know why they call it a soldering iron. Anyway, you've got interchangeable tips. There's all different tips in there underneath the magnifier. All different sort of applications. But the beauty is you just plug it in. 3.5mm jack there, you plug it in and it's USB powered. A little red light comes on, and literally within 30 seconds you're soldering away to your heart's content. And thus, so that's that out the way. We have this thing's great. This is a solder removing tool. So basically you get your, whatever you're desoldering, you heat up the solder that you want to remove, you push that down and then you put that on it and do that, and that vacuum sucks up the solder into there. Got me saying it now, guys. Anyway, all different sorts of solder here. We got flux solder, we got non-flux solder. There's some flux in there. All different kind of stuff. And you're still awake. So this is my box of fixing bits and pieces. That might come in useful when I'm doing this. Let's get it out of the bag, shall we? Let's just get it out, and then we'll have a look at it more closer in a secondo. Okay, what do we get in the bag? We get the AV lead. That plugs into the back of the SNES in there. There's another TV connection option. That's the AV out, and there's your power in. And it has a non-genuine 9-volt DC adapter, 1 amp. That's pretty much what the genuine one would be. I'm not quite sure of the exact ampage, and it's not important, is it? Let's have a look at this this controller first, shall we? Okay, I really don't want to get my fingers anywhere near that until I've taken it all apart, chucked it in a bowl of soapy water. Let's actually get that going now, because that's all you need to clean one of these things. It's not really gone yellow. A lot of these consoles yellowed in sunlight or just general daylight. Let's get a bit of squirt in there. Get that nice and warm. So when I take that apart in a second, this is a non-genuine, obviously, controller. It's Competition Pro, and in there somewhere are normal screws. Oh my days! Look at that. So I need to undo those 6 screws, take it apart, throw the cases in there, all the buttons and all the knobs and things in there, and get detailing brush, toothbrush, fine detailing brush in there, and if it's really bad, I'll resort to the spiral loofah, as I like to call it. That's another good detailing brush, proper stiffy. That won't like. Let's give that a swirl. Okay, it doesn't have to be really overly hot. Now, when I said flaps, I meant flap. Actually, there is the flap. It is actually in there. Look, come on, focus. PAL version. That should be up here, covering that hole, stopping dust and grime and stuff getting in there. When you put the power on, a slide should come out to lock into the cartridge, which it does, so that's good. Stops you unplugging it whilst the power's on. I'm assured that this works. I'm going to take the guy's word for it. Flipping heck, someone's been taking chunks out of there. Look. Oh my days. Yeah, that's crying out, guys, isn't it? That is absolutely crying out for some love and attention. Yeah, that's not too bad. You can see there in the switchy. Yeah. Oh, there's a bit of fried egg there, I think I'm right in saying. But yeah, let's have a look at this. This is proper. I mean, what is this? 1992, is it? Yeah. 1992, look. So, it's 30-year-old, and it's had a hard life by the looks of things. I don't know if there was ever a sticker on there, not sure. A little expansion port for porting. I don't know. But it has the 4 feet, that's good. Right, what screws have we got? We got those type of screws in there. Yeah, focus, you swine. And that's basically, where are we? It's basically that one. You see, it's sort of like curved, 6-sided, hexagonal bit. Right, I'm going to get ready and take this apart. We'll have a good look inside, get the important parts in there. I'm hoping this rattles actually. Oh, can you hear that? Now I'm hoping it rattles, and it does rattle, because the little spring that holds that flap up, I'm hoping it's just fallen down internally. Perhaps the little plastic peg's fallen off that it was on. So I'm hoping the bits are inside this, ready for me to fix. Right, let's crack on. Thanks for tuning in. Right, 6 screws removed with a G4.5, one of those. So let's open up the cover. Oh. And get it in there quickly as possible. Okay. Right. Oh my God. What is that? Right, let's put that out of the way there. I've put this towel down so I don't get any filth on my worktop. Right, so there's that. That basically works with the on-off button. And there is the flap in there. Okay, how do I get to that flap then? Does this front piece come off? Yes, it does. That's 1, 2, that's snapped, 3. Four. Did you swear when I'm recording?
When?
Just then.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
You're naughty. 5, 6, 7. And there we are. That's all that lot released. Oh my days. Right, that reset button. How does that come out? Press those 2 wings there, I guess. And that should Popadopodopoulos out there. That's fine. Goodbye. Oh, crikey, Charlie. I'm going to leave that slidey bit in there with the screws. No point in taking it off. Oh, 50p if you give that a lick. I'm going to put some more hot water in there, I think. Right, so there is the front. Yeah, I'm being brave holding that in my physical hands, aren't I? There's the little power button, or the power diffuser, power light diffuser, shall I say, which diffuses the light up to there. In. Here is our flap of righteousness. Power vision. Goodbye. Here are the eject button. Is that spring in there? No. Power slider. Nothing in there. Nope. That as well. Nope. And the painted top. Get in there. Right, now I'm scared. Let's just get that ribbon tape out of there. Take that off. I'm actually scared to turn this upside down. That has a spring on it. It's a big pin going right through. So if we just lift that end up and slide that this way, that should end up in my face, shouldn't it? That spring. There we go. To me. To you. To me. To you. To me. Oh. Right. I can hear. Ugh. No, you don't. Get in there. Oh, that's decided to fall out on its own. Well, that's a bonus. Now, I'm not going to do anything to that yet until I need to, because I don't want to muck up the orientation of that pin. Oh, that poor switch. Look at the state of that. There are biological advances in there somewhere. Okay, that just plugs into the motherboard. That's your scav switch. Let me just take that off then. Okay. Right, that switch is out of there. That is proper crusty. Is this the worst? Perhaps I should have gloves on, shouldn't I, in a hazmat suit? Is this possibly one of the worst condition SNESs I've ever seen? Well, I personally have ever seen. Okay, so that's base screws, that's PCB screws, that's 2 screws that hold the slot in, and 2 screws which clip that base back down. Technically, this should come up now. Okay. Okay. Yeah, just want some IPA in there. Not IPA, that's a beer, isn't it? Isopropyl alcohol. Yeah, IPA. Just brushed across there with a nice nice soft brush just to get rid of the shite. Does that plate come off now? Yeah, that plate comes off. Oh my days. Yeah. Nintendo. See ya. And it looks like you can take this off by 3 screws from the reverse there. Like so. Right, where is that flipping spring? Nothing in there. Try not to put anything electronically down like that on a surface, because it could touch something metallic and there could be a tiny bit of voltage in there that can blow things and stuff. Right, what was rattling around? Oh, that looks like a culprit. Okay. Right, have we got anything else in there? Okay, so we've got 2 of those. They can go up there. Looking through the debris. What are you doing, Mr. Winston? What are you doing, quality?
He heard a bang.
Did he hear a bang? This is his refuge when he hears a bang, because he is a rescue dog. And he's scared of anything like that, which is fine.
But it was Daddy banging, wasn't it?
Oh, was it me?
Yes.
It was me, wasn't it,
Yes.
when I was going like that? Yeah. silly bugger. Right, I can safely say now that that can actually go into our soapy solution and have a well-earned first bath in 30 years. Fantastic. There, I've said it. So I need to just sort out something to do with that flap to see if I can get something to retain it, and ding. It's only a very weak spring, but it's enough to just hold the lid back up when it's not being used. Yeah, I'm going to need to push these little clips in. See that little tab there? Little tab there, and I guess there's 2 on the other side. Yeah, and that's to get this face here off, because that is really letting the side down, that is. Ew. Okay, right, let me crack on with that, and you should see it when it's all nice and clean. Diddly, bits and pieces, bits and pieces, and pieces, bits and pieces. Yes, I'm recording. Right, this is that lot. It has been thoroughly and absolutely cleaned to within an inch of its life. It was a tiny, I missed a bit there. Look. Call the cops. Right. Now, I'm not putting any of this back together yet because there is moisture in there still, and we're putting metal screws into plastic with water in it, and that's not going to bear well for the future, is it? So I'm going to let it dry off properly. I tell you what, honestly, some of these parts, I mean, that part was the worst part because that got fingered the most. That one got finger blasted the most. That was like brown. So I had to unfinger blast all those years of finger blasting, and it's blasted now, so that's good. Oh, good, look at that lot. I've managed to get all the little speckles of paint off using thumbnail. That's all, just the thumbnail. What was it? Oh, it's gone. Thoroughly dry the metal work, the tin work, because that will rust quicker than a female prime minister in this country. Oh, stop it easy, you weirdo. I was a bit concerned about these labels coming off, but honestly, that's soapy, stippled in and all that, and they're absolutely spot on still. So yeah, don't worry about those. Right, that's all going to one side. Whilst it dries off completely thoroughly, I have hand dridden it with the dridding cloth, so it's now dried. Let's concentrate on this gopping, stinky controller that needs to go directly to jail. Do not pass go. Right, let me just strip this down. Can I strip this down whilst we chat around? I don't know. Can I? Seems like it, doesn't it? One. Didn't know that was magnetic. Learn something new every day. quite handy then, isn't it? Does all. Now the cable, where the cable goes into the controller itself, it will go through like a little S-bend. So if anyone tugs on the cable, it doesn't just rip the cable straight out. So it has like a locking device for the cable and all that. They think of everything, these lads, don't they? Design these things. Bear in mind this is, like I say, best part of 30 years old as well. Because the aftermarket stuff came out literally straight away. Because a lot of games you could four play, could you? Mario Kart, that was a 4-player, wasn't it? So you need 4 controllers, wouldn't you? Right. Let's do that. Do we take the top off or the bottom? Let's take the bottom off. You go on the floor so you're not getting on my boobs. Okay, well that's straight in the dish. Okay, these two should just slide up out of there. Oh, that's got one of those little rubbery push buttony things there, so that can go up on the windowsill out of the way, and then that can go in there. So it's pretty easy. The original ones are a bit more complicated. Look at the state of my fingers. Look, my fingers aren't used to being in water. 2 more little screws. Come on. Shake, rattle and roll. Shake, rattle and roll. Oh well, bless my soul. Here's that little S-shapey thing. It's just a clever little idea, isn't it? Right, so we can take that out. What the hell is that? Oh, that's the top buttons. Pressy against bits. Come on. Right, you can come out of the way. Perhaps sit over there. We'll have a quick look at that in a minute. It's not too bad, is it? Contacts are nice and clean. I think the Gamester is a Gamester, isn't it? A Competition Pro. Yeah, I mean they were renowned for being jolly good aftermarket controllers, and they have stood the test of time. Like, so that just wants a gentle wipe off, just to get rid of that crud. I try not to touch the contact pads unless I really have to. Ugh. Ugh. 3/4 of an inch of dust on there. Right, so this is the fun part. You take all the little sticky pads off. Sticky pads, they're all the same, these. Then on the original controller, you'd have like a little mat with the 4 pads built in. But these ones are, I don't really want to drop them in the sink, so that's that. And these buttons, look, they just literally fall out. And when you go to put them back in, they've got little keyways on them, so they only go in one hole around one way. Keith Della for the World Championship. It's in. Keith Della. Oh my goodness. Right, I need to go and start toothbrushing all that lot. I will go over this with the IPA just to get that surface nice and clean. Oh, incidentally, I went over the circuitry board checking for dry joints, none of, and I went across with my little microscopy lens thing. Where is it? It's in here. These are always handy to have in your toolbox, one of them. So you stick that bit against your eye, and then you put that bit against what you're looking at, and you can see if it's focused properly. Let's get rid of that bloody light. There you go. Gives you a better bird's eye view of what you're looking at, you see. And you can check all those little legs, all of those little bands, make sure the solder's still good. It only needs one of those to be unsoldered, and it won't work. Or something will work, but it doesn't run properly. So yeah, these are quite handy little things. They're quite cheap on Fleabay. I think I've knackered me focus now. Right, I'm going to carry on. Right, well, we're all cleaned up, and I'm just putting the finishing touches to this. I've put the D-pad in first, then I put this pad in. Now there's a fault with this. The rubber's perished there, so you can see that one's sticking up further, because what happened is it's actually broken away from the rubber exterior. So I've had to sort of push it into that hole to get it to stay there. It will work once the PCB's on there and bolted down, but at this moment in time, it's a bit thingy. So yeah, I've had to use my tweezers to literally get all those tiny little rubber things in on top of the push buttons, and I've had to raise it up on there so the buttons hang down, otherwise the rubber things just fall out. What are you so excited, mister? Hey, what are you so excited for? Rah! Yeah, you want to fight, don't you? You want to flipping fight. Yes, you do. Right, I'll give you a fight later. I'm a bit busy at the moment. Right, I'm going to put the PCB now back in there and put the little S-bend back on there. And wish me luck, because it's a bit of a cow to try and get these two top finger left and right buttons, PCBs, down into there without knocking those little rubber things off. And they drop down in, and then it all goes pear-shaped and all that. Right, let's see what I... Right, I've got the base back together there. Front panel's in, the ribbon's now back in into the PCB. I've managed to put this mechanism back in and get the spring right, like that. So that effectively is the eject button. When you press down there, these two little feet pop the cartridge back out. Right, now the only thing I'm really stuck on now is getting this flap like that to stay up and not just in like that. That's how it was when I found it. So when I bought it, sorry, found it. So I needed to fashion some sort of spring that would go on that pin and on that pin. So a very small spring, and one part of the spring would sit under here, and then the other part of the leg of the spring would sit down on there. And as you push this flap down, it just wanted to spring back and return. So I went down the shed, got me a little box of springs, and this is what I come up with. Can't remember what that's off, but I used a pair of pliers and a pair of cutters to undo both ends like that. That's one end, and that's the other end. Now you see this end has got a step on it. That was a song, wasn't it? Step on. Right, so let's put it on the flap and see what happens. So that step is designed to go, let me just bring that in a bit closer and see if I can use my little pinky to clamp it in there. Not really working, is it? Anyway, there is the step. Where's the step? There's the step there. So we'll pop that in. Oh, cock. Don't you bugger off, you Mr. Spring. Let me try it like this. Where's my camera lady gone? So we'll put that hook, the hooked part, under there, Eba. Oh, for sake, let me just do this. Right, so I've got the spring in, thus. So that angled part that I formed will press against the lid, at the bottom of the lid. And now all I have to do basically is bend that down, slide that in, misses, like so, and then slide that end in there, and try and get it all together and get that lid on without it all springing out. Like I've always said, you guys that follow me regularly, if it's broken, I will try and fix it somehow. Right. I need to... here comes my assistant now. Assistant, would you like to give me a hand, please?
If I must.
Right, okay. You basically just need to stand there, look beautiful, and point the camera at that, like so. Oh. Right, so let's put the power switch in. Like so. Whilst I'm holding that in. That little bit there, it's got two little tabs on it. See the two little tabs? They go in those little holes there. so it's easy proof. And that mechanism works, look. Okay, now I need to put the eject button in there somehow, like that. And then I guess I have to put that. Oops. Oops indeed, no, that does just go straight onto there. Yeah, don't worry about that.
Oh, sorry.
Don't worry about that. And now I just need to somehow get that on top of there, get that in situ thus. Oh shit, oh bollocks, I've got to clip the bottom end in first. There we go, there's the bottom end clipped in first. How we doing? Clippity clip. Beautiful. Right, now all I have to do is put the LED part in there, like so, and then somehow clip that in. Oh cock, that needs to go under there, doesn't it? I wonder if I can do that. No, so that needs to close down like a boot all together like that, so I'm going to have to somehow jiggly jiggle that up there. Right, let's unpop this one. Two, three. That goes in there like so, and then that should pop down into there like so. Why isn't that going in? Am I being too heavy-handed? Do I need to give it a thump? Ecky thump.
I can't see.
I don't want to force it because it's only old plastic. Oh, there we go.
This side's not in.
Yeah, I can see that. Right, let's do that again. Let's do it right. Let's do it right. Right, we're in. And we're in. Hey, right. So, that works perfectly well. My flap springs back, so that is a good fix. That goes in and out. And the eject button, that works. Reset, lovely. Right, I need to get the screws in the bottom. Over there, in the bottom, and then do it up. And that's job good, job done. Now, incidentally, the controller is all back together. And it's looking all beautiful and clean, isn't it? But that pad is broken inside. Yes, I could wedge it in there to install it, but as soon as you press down, you push it back through the silicone and it's fallen down inside. So I need to try and find one of those silicone pads for the Competition Pro controller. Right, I think we're going to wrap that video up there. I think that's a win, don't you? Look how clean that is now. That is just such a far cry. You don't need a hazmat suit on to have a feel of it. Now it looks all nice and clean, ready to use. In actual fact, I'll be going and playing it shortly and enjoying my afternoon with my feet up. So thank you, camera lady. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope I didn't bore you too much with that. And I'll see you again soon. Like I said, drop a like if you like this kind of stuff and you want to see more content like this. Take care till I see you again. Bye bye.